What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, y'all. So let's get into this whole situation. Let's talk about the Braxtons, the TV show. They are on season 2, episode 1. We're gonna get into Trina because Trina, she dropped out on social media, and basically she just feels like that her ex-husband Gabe, that is no longer here, and whoever's been accused of doing something inappropriate with her niece, they should have the right to defend themselves as well. And that's what she's trying to point out. That's her biggest point. Her point is nothing else but that. Like, that's all you see out of this whole situation, girl. But in any event, let's check out what she had to say with her new husband sitting next to her, and let's get into the episode, and let's get into Trina. Lord.
To say this, I cannot negate anyone's feelings in any way, shape, or form. Right. And I will say this, I think that you can never put a time limit on someone's feelings, their emotions, or even their version of what the truth may be to them. But I do wish that the people that were spoken about were able to tell their own version of their story, of their truth, because they're no longer with us.
Because it did.
That's not always fair.
Okay, so you heard what Trina had to say, and basically she wants the dead to be able to defend themselves. She wants the people that have been accused by her niece to be able to speak for themselves. But why can't your niece speak? Why is your niece being silenced? Why does Tamar have to do everything and go on and beyond the call of duty to try to get, her niece on the show and get her niece an interview on her podcast? And then the sisters, Towanda, Trina, and Toni Braxton don't want her on the show, sending her sis and deceased, even though Trina denied, saying that she had nothing to do with it. But Towanda and Toni didn't say they didn't have anything to do with it. So I wonder if the grandmother sent a cease and desist too as well to Tamar Braxton, so she won't be on her show or whatever the case may be. And they didn't want the niece Ashlee on the show, and Tamar's feeling a certain type of way because Tamar felt like she was violated and her family wasn't there for her. And for Trina to basically want to, he's dead, he can't speak, so what you need to do is heal the wounds with your niece that is living, that is breathing, that's alive, that's well, that you can make a difference. You can break the chains, you can break the curse, you can embrace her and let her know that, hey, I'm a fool. I love the man more than I loved more than I love my kids, more than I love myself, more than I love my family. So whatever he wanted to do, I felt like it was okay because I was being obedient wife to him or something. But at least say, I'm sorry I didn't check on you. You said sorry to her once, I'm sorry that it happened, but then your actions, your mother action, your sister's actions were to dismiss her and keep her out of the family where she moved away, allegedly, because this is what Ashlee is saying, that once she spoke about her spending the summer at Trina's house, her and her sister, which is no longer here, she told, or her stepmother saw the text messages and the messages, and they confronted the situation, and they told the brother Michael, which is her father, and they talked to Trina. Trina said, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and that was it. Trina didn't try to reach out to her. She's a child. She probably feel hurt. She probably feel like maybe it was my fault. I shouldn't have said anything. What did I do wrong? Like, why would this man come on to me, or anything of that nature, where she's not fully developed as an adult to understand the ramifications of what happened to her and what she did go through, and not getting any help or not getting any counseling at the time or support from the elders in your family can be really, really hurtful. So it's just really sad to see Trina, but Trina represent a lot of these women, you know what I mean, that will want a man so bad and believe that their man wouldn't do that, and if he did, it was their fault because they enticed him, they wanted it, they needed it, or they're trying to break up a happy home. Like, they would find every excuse, and you need to go get help, Trina, to think like that, to even have the audacity. If your children came to you, have they come to you and told you something happened, and did you ignore them? Did you act like it didn't happen? Like, we need to make a place where the young women, the women period, the boys, the girls have a safe place in their family where they can advocate and say, hey, this is what's happening to me, this is what this person did to me, and they won't be ridiculed, they won't be isolated, they won't be, tormented, they won't be ridiculed, they won't be made fun of, but they will get love. And then you can find out how it happened, when it happened, how did it go down, explain it to me. Sometimes listening to a story of what happened can make you see, okay, there's a possibility of telling the truth. But Trina's stance is, I'm sticking by my dead husband because he ain't here to speak. That's just volumes of, just lack of love for her niece, lack of love for herself, lack of love for her kids. But she probably want to protect her kids, and she don't want to let it go down in history that her ex-husband was messing around with her niece or trying to mess around with her nieces. Like, this is a whole crazy situation. Everything is alleged, but in any event, Trina is sad, child. And then on top of that, when the episode begins, this is like a pre-trailer to the first episode of the Braxton family. And they are going in on Tamar because Tamar want to bring the niece Ashlee on. Tamar wants to interview her. Tamar wants her around. Tamar wants her there. Tamar wants them to support her. And Toni Braxton gets up in Tamar's face and was like, what you mean I never had your back? And Tamar was like, you said that you wanted her on the show. And then Toni Braxton said, no I didn't, and then Toni said, or Tamar said, well, you said you didn't want her on my show because it's the Chitlin circuit or whatever the case may be. So they're going back and forth, and this is all over a young lady claiming that she was hurt, she was violated as a child, and there's no love, there's no sympathy, there's no, like, I want to reach out to her, I want to hug her, I want to kiss her, I want to tell her that baby is gonna be okay, that I'm sorry this happened, I'm sorry I was incompetent and dealing with your pain. No, this is like, oh, we don't want her, and this is cis and deceased letters. Like, if anything, the Braxtons look terrible, horrible, and everything. Like, oh my God, there's no, like, I want to nurture this young girl. She lost a sister already, so she's already dealing with losing a sister and however that transpired. But then at the same time, she don't got no support from her auntie, and they're clearly filming that they don't want her around. Like, damn, some people would treat other people's children so bad just so they can protect whatever they think that they need to protect. But if you keep protecting the dark and the evil, baby, it's all gonna explode and fall down. And then on top of that, there's not going to be any redeeming value with you at all, because look at how you do your own family. Like, this is crazy, child. And they wonder why Tamar is the way she is. Like, I mean, Toni Braxton was really going in, at Tamar. Like, she was just upset. Tamar was like, well, nobody had my back when I got the cis and deceased letter. And then Toni Braxton takes it, what you mean I never had your back? She wasn't saying that. She was saying ain't nobody had my back when I was getting these cease and desist letters. And then Toni took it to a whole nother level. You gonna say I ain't never had your back and just act like a complete plum fool. Embarrassing. And then on top of that, because they don't want to talk about the whole situation with the niece, they want to ignore her. These people be out here looking for sympathy and want you to spend their money, but they treat their family like trash. Like, Lord have mercy. And then we have Trina. She's sitting here talking to her sister Towanda. Towanda is putting on kitty gloves. It's like, yeah, baby, it's gonna be okay. You're a victim. She ain't no victim. She's a victim of her stupidity. She's a victim of not caring. She's a victim of ignoring what was actually going on in her house and actually what her husband was doing to others, allegedly. And she was closing a blind eye to it because she wanted to live in a fairy tale world and have a fairy tale marriage and a fairy tale this and a fairy tale that. And it wasn't a fairy tale. It was a torture, dark environment for if you married to a man and he doing that to your family and you think it's good and you want and when he was alive, Ashlee made these claims. Like, this is sad. And so they're sitting here patting each other on the back like they both victims. You ain't no victim. Like, child, this is a whole mess. And then we have Trina. She meets up with her mama. Evelyn is like, I don't miss being married. Girl, yes you do. And it's sorry that your husband did that to you and cheated on you and got with your best friend or with the church lady or whatever the case may be. But you have carried around so much hatred and so much baggage, and you haven't let go. You haven't lived. You haven't loved. And you have put that, spirit on your daughters, and this is why they picked the wrong, and the husband was wrong too as well. Around, if you over it, you ain't over it, you ain't done with it either, and it's just like she continues to play. Everybody plays victim except for the real victims when it comes to the Braxton family. Like, this is a mess. And so we get Tamar. Tamar basically sits down with her niece Ashlee. She travels across the world to see her and basically say, hey, I want to support you. I want to be there. I want to help you. And Ashlee is basically letting us know only person that reached out to her was Tamar. Nobody else reached out to her. So her grandmother didn't reach out to her. Her father didn't reach out to her. That's what she's basically saying. And she's saying her aunties, Towanda, Trina, they didn't reach out to her. Nobody checked on her. Nobody see how she was doing. It was like, okay, she's gone. She's in Europe. She's in France. She's somewhere. At least she ain't around here, so we don't have to look at her and look at the threat that she possibly was. She was one a time when they were with their husbands or whatever. So they probably look at her as a threat, like, oh, I gotta compete with her. How you competing with a child? Like, this is crazy. But in any event, the young lady said ain't nobody went to check up on her. You gonna tell me Grandma Evelyn ain't check up on her grandbaby, see how she was doing after losing a grandbaby? Like, and then it's her sister that she lost, her younger sister, Ashlee did. And then ain't nobody checking up on her. And she's saying that this traumatic event happened to her. She loses her sister. She moves across the country. She's running. That's what she's doing. She's running. She's running for something. She's running for love. She's running from happiness. She's trying to escape the dark torture of dealing with people that don't give two-ish about you. All they care is about status, clout, and when they're gonna get their next check. They could care about nurturing and loving and protecting you. That's what it seemed like, and that's what she was saying, that ain't nobody checked on her in years and years. Like, come on, that's a whole mess. So sad. Then we have Trina. She's directing and she's also acting, and she has a TV show that's going to be coming out. And we have Tamar. She goes and get a BBL, child. I don't know why she get a BBL. It didn't look like that BBL did anything. So this is Tamar's after effect of her BBL. Don't look like it, but in any event, she got it done. She got them shots, and then on top of that, she is having an interview with her niece, and she's there to support her because she's saying her family wasn't there for her when she was going through it too. Please like, comment, and subscribe.